My name is Billie Eilish Pirate Baird O'Connell, and I was born on December 18th, 2001, in Los Angeles, California. Even as a little girl, I felt music in every corner of my life. My parents were artists in their own ways, and our home was always full of creativity, expression, and freedom. I remember listening to my brother Phineas play the piano and sing, feeling inspired to create my own songs, my own little world of melodies. I was shy, introverted, and often overwhelmed by the noise of the world outside. But music became my sanctuary, a place where I could feel safe, express my feelings, and connect to something bigger than myself. I would record little demos in our home studio, experimenting with sounds, beats, and lyrics. Even at a young age, I felt that music was not just a hobby. It was my purpose, my voice, and my way to communicate emotions that words alone couldn't express. Growing up, I faced challenges like any other kid. I had moments of doubt, anxiety, and fear of not being enough. I wondered if the world would understand my style, my voice, my dark and emotional music. But Phineas, my family, and the small circle of friends who believed in me encouraged me to keep going, to trust my instincts, and to embrace my uniqueness. 2015 was a turning point in my life. I released Ocean Eyes, a song I had written with my brother, and uploaded it online. I didn't know what to expect. I just wanted to share my feelings. But soon, the world started listening. The song went viral, and suddenly, people were connecting with my voice, my emotions, and the rawness of my expression. I was still a teenager, navigating school, home, and the sudden attention from strangers online. It was exhilarating, but also terrifying. I realized that music was no longer just my private sanctuary. It had become a bridge between me and the world. People were hearing my deepest thoughts, my fears, and my emotions, and I felt both honored and vulnerable. Even as fame approached, I never lost sight of who I was. I wanted to make music that was honest, authentic, and unapologetic. I wanted to create art that would resonate with people who felt misunderstood, lonely, or different. And I knew that the journey ahead would test me, challenge me, and push me beyond my comfort zone. But I was ready. I was ready to face the world with my voice, my words, and my heart wide open. I was Billie Eilish, a girl with dreams bigger than herself, with emotions deeper than anyone could imagine, and with a determination to turn her feelings into songs that could touch the hearts of millions. After releasing Ocean Eyes, I felt the world shifting beneath my feet. Suddenly, people were listening, not just casually, but really listening. They were connecting with my words, my voice, my emotions. It was both thrilling and overwhelming because I was still a teenager trying to understand who I was. With my brother Phineas by my side, I started creating more songs, experimenting with sounds, beats, and lyrics that reflected my reality. We recorded late into the nights, exploring dark melodies, whispering lyrics, and haunting harmonies that became my signature style. Every note, every lyric, every beat was a piece of my soul, and sharing it made me feel both exposed and alive. 2017 was the year everything changed. My debut EP, Don't Smile at Me, came out, and suddenly, the world knew my name. People called my music unique, emotional, and raw. It was incredible to see strangers resonating with what I had created in the privacy of my bedroom. But with recognition came pressure. The music industry was full of expectations, labels, and critics who didn't always understand my vision. There were days when I questioned myself, my choices, and whether I was ready for the world's attention. I even doubted if my quiet, introspective style could survive in a loud, competitive industry. Yet, every challenge became a lesson. I learned to trust myself, to listen to my instincts, and to stay true to my voice. I realized that authenticity was my power, the thing that made me different and memorable. I didn't want to fit in. I wanted to stand out for being myself. The breakthrough came when I released my first full-length album, When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go, in 2019. The songs were dark, personal, and unapologetic, touching on themes of mental health, identity, and fear. People said it was revolutionary. I felt honored, but I also felt the weight of responsibility. I realized that my music could influence, heal, and inspire, and that was both humbling and terrifying. Through it all, my fans became my lifeline. They embraced me, flaws and all, and their love gave me strength. I understood that fame was not just about awards, charts, or recognition. It was about connection, impact, and the courage to be honest. Even as the world watched, I never lost sight of who I was. I was still Billie, the quiet, reflective girl who found solace in music, who felt deeply, and who wanted to share her heart with anyone willing to listen. And that authenticity became the foundation of everything I achieved. Even as my music reached millions, life behind the scenes was not easy. I am Billie Eilish, and the world often sees the fame, the awards, and the spotlight, but not the anxiety, the self-doubt, and the battles I fought silently. Growing up in the public, I brought pressure I could never have imagined. Every appearance, every outfit, every word was analyzed. Sometimes I felt trapped, like I was being judged for simply existing. There were nights I couldn't sleep, days I felt invisible despite being everywhere, and moments when I questioned if I was enough. But through these struggles, I found my strength. I realized that vulnerability is not weakness, it is courage. Sharing my mental health struggles, my fears, and my insecurities through music helped me feel less alone and helped others feel seen. Songs like Everything I Wanted and Lovely were born from my heartache, my anxiety, and my journey to accept myself. I also learned the importance of boundaries. With fame came constant attention, and I had to protect my personal life, my relationships, and my creative space. Saying no became empowering, and prioritizing my mental health allowed me to continue creating without losing myself in the chaos. My family, especially Phineas, remained my anchor. He was there during every high and low, guiding me, supporting me, and reminding me to trust my instincts. Together, we created music that was not just art, but therapy, a lifeline for me and for the fans who connected deeply with every lyric. Through all the struggles, I discovered resilience. I learned that pain can be transformed into art, that fear can be turned into motivation, and that being true to yourself is the most powerful thing you can do. I am Billie, and my journey is about embracing my uniqueness, confronting my fears, and inspiring others to do the same. Every struggle, every tear, every sleepless night shaped me into the artist I am today. I am still growing, still learning, still facing challenges, but I face them with honesty, courage, and a heart ready to share its story with the world. As my career progressed, I realized that being an artist is about more than music. It's about impact. I am Billie Eilish, and my journey has been filled with incredible achievements, moments of pride, and the responsibility to use my voice for change. Winning my first Grammy was surreal. I was still a teenager, Standing on a stage I had dreamed about for years, holding an award that symbolized not only my hard work, but also the support of everyone who believed in me. Every song I wrote, every performance I gave, led me to that moment, and I will never forget the feeling of validation and gratitude. But beyond awards and recognition, I wanted to make a difference. I became passionate about causes I believed in: climate change, mental health awareness, and social justice. I realized that having a platform meant having the power to raise awareness, start conversations, and inspire action. Every time I spoke about these issues, I hoped to encourage my fans to think, act, and care. Music remained my sanctuary and my tool for connection. Songs like Bad Guy, Everything I Wanted, and Happier Than Ever allowed me to share my truth with the world. I wanted listeners to know that it's okay to feel deeply, to struggle, and to embrace your uniqueness. I wanted them to understand that their emotions, their fears, and their dreams are valid. Legacy, I realized, is not about fame, it's about influence. It's about inspiring others to be themselves, to pursue their passions, and to overcome obstacles with courage and authenticity. I hope my music encourages fans to embrace their identity, express themselves freely, and never feel ashamed of who they are. Through every tour, every award, every song, I learned that success is not measured by numbers alone. It's measured by the hearts you touch, the lives you inspire, and the difference you make in the world. I am Billie, and I am proud of the artist I have become. I will continue to grow, to learn, and to create music that matters not just to me, but to everyone who listens and finds a piece of themselves in my voice. This journey is far from over. I carry every lesson, every challenge, every victory with me as I move forward, knowing that my purpose is bigger than any single song, award, or stage. And I am ready to continue making a mark not just in music, but in the world, with honesty, courage, and heart. Even with all the success, my personal life has been a journey full of challenges. I am Billie Eilish, and fame doesn't shield you from heartbreak, anxiety, or self-doubt. Growing up under public scrutiny meant that every relationship, every friendship, and every choice felt magnified. There were times I felt alone, even when surrounded by thousands of fans and loved ones. It was hard to trust people, knowing that the world was always watching and judging. I questioned myself, my feelings, and sometimes even my worth. But I also discovered resilience and the importance of love in its truest form. I learned that self-love is the foundation for any other love. I leaned on my family, my brother Phineas, and a close circle of friends who reminded me that I am more than fame, more than music, more than expectations. Their support gave me courage to be authentic, to set boundaries, and to navigate life with honesty. Love came into my life in small, meaningful ways, through moments of connection, understanding, and trust. It wasn't about the spotlight or appearances. It was about finding people who saw me, truly saw me, and accepted me as I am. Those experiences, both joyful and painful, became part of my music and part of the person I am today. Every challenge I faced taught me something vital. Vulnerability is strength, setbacks are lessons, and the journey is just as important as the destination. Even when I felt scared, uncertain, or invisible, I kept moving forward, writing, singing, and sharing my heart with the world. Looking back, I realized that my journey is not just about music. It's about connection, growth, and hope. I am Billie Eilish, and every song I write, every performance I give, is a piece of my soul shared with those who need it most. To my fans who have walked this path with me, you are my heart. Your love, your support, and your belief have carried me through moments of doubt and darkness. You remind me why it's worth being vulnerable, why it's worth speaking my truth, and why it's worth dreaming fearlessly. Life will challenge you. It will break you and test you. But know this: every struggle, every tear, and every fear carries a lesson. It shapes you, strengthens you, and prepares you for moments of joy, courage, and fulfillment. My dreams for the future are endless. I want to continue making music that matters, to use my voice for change, and to inspire others to embrace their uniqueness and courage. I want to grow as an artist, a human, and a person who touches lives with honesty and heart. Remember this: you are never alone in your struggles. Your voice matters, your dreams matter, and your heart is strong enough to face the world. I am Billie Eilish, and I will continue to dream, to grow, and to share my story with anyone who will listen. Every ending is just a beginning, and every song is a bridge connecting hearts across the world. After my music reached the world, everything changed. I am Billie Eilish, and global fame is both thrilling and overwhelming. People everywhere were listening, watching, and judging. Suddenly, every move I made, every outfit I wore, every statement I shared was analyzed endlessly. At first, it felt suffocating. Social media became a double-edged sword. Fans gave love, but critics gave constant scrutiny. I questioned myself daily. Am I enough? Am I doing the right thing? Will I be true to myself in a world that demands perfection? There were nights when anxiety gripped me, when the fear of failing or disappointing others kept me awake. I even wondered if I could survive in an industry so relentless. But I learned to breathe, to ground myself, and to remember why I started making music in the first place. My fans became my lifeline. Their messages, their stories, their connection reminded me that my voice had power. Not just to entertain, but to heal, to inspire, and to show others that it's okay to be vulnerable, to struggle, and to embrace who they are. Through all the pressure, I discovered resilience. I realized that fame does not define me. My courage, my creativity, and my heart do. And no matter how loud the world becomes, I am determined to stay authentic, honest, and unapologetically myself. Music has always been my sanctuary, my way to express what words alone cannot. I am Billie Eilish, and the process of creating songs is as personal as it is transformative. I work closely with my brother Phineas, who understands my vision better than anyone. We experiment with sounds, instruments, and lyrics late into the night. Every beat, every whisper, every note carries emotion. We push boundaries, trying things that might sound unusual, eerie, or unconventional, because I've learned that my uniqueness is my strength. My music evolves with me. From the haunting melodies of Ocean Eyes to the introspective darkness of When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go, and the raw emotions of Happier Than Ever, every album reflects my growth, my struggles, and my perspective on life. I draw inspiration from my fears, my experiences, and the world around me. Art, to me, is not just entertainment, it's connection. When someone listens to a song and feels seen, understood, or comforted, that is the greatest reward I could ever receive. Even as I create, I face doubts. Am I saying enough? Am I being honest? Will this song touch hearts like I hope? But I remind myself that authenticity matters more than perfection. Music is about truth, emotion, and courage, and that is what I strive to deliver every time I step into the studio. Looking forward, I realize that my journey is bigger than me. I am Billie Eilish, and I want to leave a legacy of honesty, courage, and inspiration. I hope that my story shows others that it's okay to feel deeply, to be different, and to follow your passions fearlessly. Fame, awards, and recognition are secondary to making a difference, touching hearts, and giving hope. I want to continue using my voice for causes I care about: mental health, climate change, and equality. I want to inspire young people to embrace themselves, their creativity, and their uniqueness. Music will always be my way to connect, heal, and grow. I will continue to experiment, evolve, and share my story with the world. Every song, every performance, and every message is a bridge to someone who needs to hear that they are not alone. To anyone listening, embrace your emotions, trust your voice, and never let fear stop you from chasing your dreams. I am Billie Eilish, and I will keep dreaming, creating, and living with honesty, heart, and purpose. The journey continues, and I am ready for every note, every challenge, and every connection that lies ahead.